And welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have a beautiful and simple pecan-crusted trout for you. And like some previous fish videos, we're going to do another lemon butter sauce. I'd like to remind everyone that we have an affiliate link with Chef's Temp if you need a kitchen thermometer. Please check out the link in the description below, and if you use code LOVEYOURFOOD on checkout, you'll get 15% off your order. In the meantime, let's get on with the ingredients for our beautiful pecan-crusted trout. So we have this beautiful trout. We have some lemon. We're going to use some lemon juice, some capers, some flour for dredging. These are some raw pecan halves, some parsley, and some from fresh herbs, just for garnish at the end, some butter, and an egg. And we're going to start by getting some mise en place ready. So we're going to start by getting the flour for dredging into a pan. The other pan is going to be used for our pecans once they're prepared. And to prepare them, we're just going to chop them. And we want to chop them pretty finely because they need to stick to the fish. They need to hold on. If they're too big chunks, they won't hold on very well. So you want them chopped pretty finely. Something like this. And if you see any large chunks, you can always get rid of them and chop them up. Now we're using trout for this. It has a pretty strong flavor. We thought it worked very, very well. But if you prefer a more neutral fish, a white fish like tilapia or something like that will also work nicely for this recipe and be a little bit more neutral than something like trout or salmon. Now we're going to season those pecans just a little bit of black pepper in there. And we're going to get our egg wash ready. So here's where the egg was. So we just mixed a little tiny bit of water in there with the egg, just to make sure it has enough material. And then we're going to portion out our fish. Now this is probably 3 good-sized portions of fish. Now remember when you're cutting your fish that as it gets to the narrower side, you want to cut bigger pieces to get an even amount of fish because it's thinner and of course there's less material. So they're going to look like different sizes, but it's just because they're different shapes. Now we discovered that these pieces of fish were actually not scaled, so we cut the skin off, sadly. We prefer to have skin on for trout or salmon, but in this case, we didn't notice until after we had cut it that it was that the scales were still on there. So we're going to dredge it in flour and then put it into the egg wash. While that is just sort of getting going over there, we're going to get some butter into our cast iron here. You can do this in stainless steel as well. And then once those are nicely coated with the egg wash, we're going to put them into our nicely chopped pecans here. And you want to make sure they get a pretty good coating of pecans on the outside. And if your fish is really, really tender, you see ours sort of comes apart a little bit here, you can use some of that egg wash. It'll help it just sort of stick to itself as well. So something to keep in mind if your fish is very, very tender, very, very flaky, just make sure that you're keeping it all together with that egg wash if you need to. And then we're going to delicately put that into our nice hot pan with the melted butter. Now we're not going to finish this in the pan. We're actually going to finish this in the oven. So we're going to roast these. And all the times and temperatures are going to be in the description below. And then once that is done, the things you want to look out for, you want to make sure that, especially if it's like a pink fish like salmon or trout, that it's become quite pale. You get that nice cooked texture to it. And then, like you've seen us do before, we're going to make a butter sauce out of this. So we have some shallots in there, some butter, a little bit of lemon juice. We're just going to toss all that together. We chopped up some capers and some of those fresh herbs, a little bit of chive in there and a little bit of parsley. And that's going to come together in a really nice little butter sauce. I'll put a link in up here somewhere about the previous one we did. And then just butter sauce on top of that fish is beautiful. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Super, super simple. Really, really delicious. Actually, very, very quick as well. It doesn't take very much time. These trout fillets are quite thin. They don't take much time in the oven, and they're done. So please give this one a try. We hope you'll enjoy it. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. We'd like to thank all of our patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to support us there, I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. And remember to love your food.